Everybody is busy with something. Everybody is figuring their life. Everybody has their problems, their mental health problems, their family problems, their financial problems. Everybody is dealing with something. I don't even know if this thing is recording, but I think it is. You know, I've been thinking really recently. Actually, I haven't been thinking. People don't care. People don't care. This is really what this conversation today is going to be about. I am slightly annoyed, but mostly just comfortable, actually elated that I can actually share this thing with you today, because I have been struggling with a lot of emotions, a lot of difficulties in my personal life, like things that I've been struggling with for a while. But I am starting to nail it on the head that it boils down around this idea of people caring. For example, like people tend to think like, oh, introverts don't like to do small talk. And it's usually because introverts want to ask you questions like, how are you? So you say you're fine, and you talk about the weather because nobody cares about the weather, and because you're not really fine. You have issues where you don't even talk about them. And so I find myself in this place thinking that people don't care because for the past month, I haven't posted anything on YouTube. I have struggled to write. I have struggled to do a lot of things. Like when it comes to my creative life has been in shambles. Like I've had a really hard time getting to the point. And by the way, the light is from sun is shiny. Jesus, let me turn this thing off. I've had a hard time getting to the place where I feel like I am able to create, I'm able to write, I'm able to make videos. And it's not a place that you get, it's like a mind state. If you've been creating content regularly, you know that you don't feel like creating content on a regular basis. Not every day you create content, but you have to build a system that allows you to get there. At least if you get to a point where you get to that routine. And so while struggling with everything I was struggling with, I still did my job. I have a full-time job, working from home for the past couple of years. And at least when it comes to the job front, I've pretty much nailed it. Like I know I show up, I do my job, I'm pretty good at what I do. I like what I do. I enjoy the software that I work with. I'm fine. But now when it comes to my social media and content creation and all these other things that I work with, I realized that I had a hard time applying the same kind of energy from work to the things that I care about. And it will make sense in a bit, the whole people don't care thing. People don't care. People don't care because I've been thinking about why I spend so much energy and spend so much effort putting my heart and soul into these things that people who say they like it don't really say. And now, mind you, I'm talking about this on a platform where I probably have thousands of people who've already either subscribed or liked or watched or something. I just have this inherent feeling like there are people out there who watch my content or who listen to the podcast or who read articles, who really enjoy it, who don't say anything. While I'm sitting here, and my biggest struggle, what I'm going to admit today, which I have not wanted to admit for a very long time, is that I actually want to know the people who are watching my content or listening. I actually want to get that feedback from people. I'm not getting that feedback, and I'm sitting to myself like, if something happened to me today, and you saw my picture on some social media platform, like, oh, Kamga is no more, you'd be like, oh my gosh, he used to write. I used to like his writing. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I hope my ghost haunts you. Because I was sitting here, what is wrong with this thing? I was sitting here in my dark moments, doubting my abilities, struggling to just figure things out while I'm dealing with other personal problems. And I needed you to leave a comment, to send a message, to write a response, saying that you actually think my writing matters. And you didn't. And then you come here on my deathbed and tell me, oh, I liked your writing. Liar. But the reason I'm annoyed is because I know there's a subset of people who are doing it. And I know because there are comments on my channel that I have not responded to. But the sad thing is this, and I have to admit this, these are comments on videos that I don't personally feel very proud of. So I don't feel like they matter, but they do. And that's a contradiction of this, right? I know that I myself have not been caring enough about the people who have taken the time to leave their comments on my videos. So people don't care because I don't care. Everybody is busy with something. Everybody is figuring their life. Everybody has their problems, their mental health problems, their family problems, their financial problems. Everybody is dealing with something. And so people don't care. And I have to admit that people don't care and accept that people don't care, because my struggle to show up on YouTube after how many months with a video which has nothing to do with anything else that I've done before, and which is definitely all over the place and unscripted, and I don't know what this video is going to look like, but it's really because people don't care. Because I know that I'll put up this video and less than 1% of people who are subscribed to the channel are going to watch it. Yeah, I just need to rant and complain about this because I think it saddens me more than it annoys me. I feel sad that we live in a world where when you have people who are alive, who you can give like a genuine compliment or reach out when you think about them or send a message to encourage them, we don't. I don't. Like, I'm annoyed at myself for not reaching out to people whose content I like. I'm annoyed at myself for not complimenting people for doing something that I thought was really cool. I'm annoyed at myself for keeping my compliments back. And I'm annoyed at you for not giving me the compliments I deserve. So yeah, people don't care. So in the end, it's really so much more about accepting that everyone is busy, everyone has things to do, and figure out why we are doing the things that we are doing. Because as much as I would like to say the world is evil and nobody cares and you should fight for yourself and be selfish, which I think you should. Honestly, I've got to the point where I think there's a time and place to be giving and caring and talk to people everywhere. There's a time when you have to focus on yourself. I mean, right now, I'm not actually seeing. I got my contacts recently. I've been having such a hard time. I couldn't even put my own contacts. I had to wear my glasses. Bottom line is, everybody is dealing with something. Everybody's struggling with something. Everybody's having a hard time with something, whether it's a job, their health, their profession. And I wish I would reach out more to people and just ask how they are doing and actually listen. That's another thing too. People don't listen. People don't actually listen. People want to hear what they want to hear. When you ask people how are you, they want to hear I'm fine. Because if you tell them how you really are, they cannot handle it. They cannot cope. They don't have the tools to actually do it. So people don't really care. When they ask those questions, they don't care. And that bothers me. That really does, because I find it difficult to have relationships with people when I know that they're just being facetious. They're just being surface level. They ask questions that they don't really want. And you can tell those things. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I can't tell. Maybe I'm reading too much into things. You probably tell me. Maybe I'm assuming that people don't care. But when you actually care, I think people can feel it when you care. When you ask questions that are like, how are you? And you're like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, oh, really? You look, like, is this something you want to talk about? And even if the person, listen, even if I don't want to talk to you about the thing that is going on in my mind, even if I don't want you to know about what's going on, the fact that you asked and the fact that you took the time to actually listen and I said, you know what, I don't want to talk about it, that can be everything somebody needed to get out of a place feeling like they're alone. Because I have felt alone. I have felt when I say alone, like I have been in a place where there are people around me, but I don't feel like they actually are there. I don't know if that even makes sense. This book, Alone to Get Away, because people say it's because of the internet, because of whatever it is, but have you ever been in a place where you are with someone, but you feel like they don't even know who you are? Where you recite these things and you even, okay, this is probably crazy, you set like unintentional mind traps. You say things that are not exactly accurate, lies probably, but then before you realize, oh yeah, that was not true, they haven't even caught on like, wait, you said this thing last week, but you're saying this thing this week. What's going on here? Like, people they're not even paying attention to what you're saying. And it's for me, I think it's crazy that we live in a world where we can say we have friends, we have family, especially that one family. We have family and we still don't know who we can count on. We don't know who we can reach out to when we need to talk to somebody about things that we don't yet know ourselves. Therapy, right? That's what everybody says is this. Mental health, get a therapist, get medication, work out, do this, fix yourself, self-improvement. I've read lots of self-improvement books. But one thing that I can say that beats self-improvement and probably beats therapy is knowing that someone cares. And I think there are very few people who feel like they have people in their lives who care. And for me, that lesson is that I need to start finding people that I can give that to. People who have shown me that they do. And at least give them the permission and the opportunity to actually care for me. Because I know for sure that there are many instances where people have tried to care and have pushed them away. And I don't know if you find that too. I don't know if you can actually recognize that for yourself. Like there are people who are trying to come into your life, trying to be helpful, trying to ask those questions. People who actually care And if you don't give them the opportunity, they won't. And you'll be justified by saying people don't care. Like, I'm saying all of these things, and I'm very much painfully aware that there are people in my life, very few of them, less than I would actually ideally like, but there are people who care enough in their own way. And it's up to me to now find a way to communicate better to them. Like, actually, this is what I need. So if you have any friends who show up, who ask you how you're doing, if you have any family who have your back, if you have people, co-workers who really care, you would know. And I think the least you can do is care back. If you can't find someone, then maybe it's time for you to find someone to care for. Because people don't care. Maybe we'll have to stop being people and try to be, humans and actually care for each other. Yeah, that's my rant for today. I don't have anything else to tell you. Next time I'll talk about people don't listen, because I feel like people don't. Jesus. Lord's name in vain. Anyway, I'll see you in the next conversation. Maybe less angrily. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually be more angry. I feel like I haven't been myself on this, whatever you're listening this on. I feel like I haven't been me. I've just been trying to, like, what would people like to watch? What would people want to see? What if I did reaction? What if I didn't do? And I ask all these questions and I get overwhelmed. But that right there is a whole other story. Just go out there, care for someone. And I hope you find somebody who cares for you. Because I know there are people who care for me. Now let me go call some of them.